If you were driving around Bozeman on Wednesday, you probably saw a lot of this, and a lot of this, and you could have even seen this. A video on Facebook that's caused a stir, which raises the question, how reckless do drivers get when the snow starts falling?
Pedal to the metal, and they're just...
Were you guys out and about driving yesterday?
Sure were.
Yep. For Aiden, Sage, and most folks around town, they agree. Road conditions were less than ideal Wednesday.
It was not great. Pretty wide out. I saw several people slide off the road.
Yeah, I was driving on East Valley Center and you couldn't even really see the road.
While most people were trying to stay on the road safely, others, not so much. There's this video going around of someone kind of fishtailing down Main Street.
Yeah, I saw that. It's not smart. You could cause accidents, like they said in the Facebook post that somebody slid off the road behind them because they almost got hit by them.
And I was curious, how often do Bozeman police see this kind of driving in dangerous snowy conditions?
Fortunately, not very often. As a law enforcement officer, if I were to see somebody that in my capacity, I would absolutely stop them, and we would at the very least have a conversation about how unsafe that is.
Lieutenant Ben King was on duty Wednesday during the storm. He tells me on top of reckless driving, there was a number of accidents.
We had about 13 before we instituted what we call our limited crash response protocol.
According to Bozeman Police Facebook page, that protocol went into effect around 2 p.m. Wednesday. King tells me there were many more accidents to follow. This protocol goes into effect when the number of accidents exceeds the number of officers available. But I was curious, who do officers respond to first in these situations?
Our protocol includes an automatic response for crashes with disabling damage to a vehicle, injury, or the report of a DUI driver.
Some folks may have been frustrated Wednesday if they didn't receive help from police. To this, King hopes drivers can keep in mind resources are limited, which means if you were frustrated about drivers like this,
and they're just the biggest idiots I've ever seen.
and the fact they didn't get pulled over,
I can completely understand frustration, especially if you went, as reported, all the way down Huffine. Our officers were simply busy. Unfortunately, there were none available.
For Aiden and Sage, they say here in Montana, people will play around with their cars in the snow regardless. So, if you're gonna do it,
Go on the back roads up to Highlight, stuff like that, where there's not as much traffic or people.
in Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.